guys? Austin here from Airsoft Station, and today we are reviewing the JG Dragon s.t.a.r. This is a very unique rifle and was sort of requested by one of our viewers. He just said, hey, throw up something that you don't see every day, something that's kind of unique, and I think this definitely fits into that category. So the externals of this gun really are the only thing special or fancy about it. It's based on a very popular video game from a few years back. I don't know if copyright I can say what it is, but for those of you who do know what it is, feel free to comment below. But anyway, it's essentially just a stubby M4 that's dressed up to look really cool. It takes standard M4 magazines. It comes with this really low profile 170 round high cap magazine. However, you can take it can take any normal high cap or mid cap M4 or M16 magazine. So the magazine, I like that it's just that general M4 M16 magazine. They're the cheapest magazine on the market by far, and I love that it can take that even though it's such a unique gun. The stock back here, also very unique, has this big ridge here, which is very comfortable on your cheek. It sort of comforts that cheekbone right there. Even though it looks a little strange, it's very comfortable. Iron sights on top here. They're your standard flip up, windage and elevation, adjustable. The front one is non-adjustable, and it also is not a flip, but the rear sight is that flip up, flip down. Has the larger peephole as well as the much smaller peephole for more accurate shooting. It's just it's surprising how comfortable it is, even though how weird it is. This front grip right here, at least for me, it fits very nicely in the hand. You just get a good solid grip there. And this JG pistol grip down here, I actually was considering putting it on my gun personally, because they do sell these separately as well. There's a shelf here which rests your thumb, and your middle finger just rests right in that groove there. It's very comfortable. It gives you a very secure grip. There's no texture on it except this very rubberized feeling, and it just gives you a very comfortable, very solid feeling for holding this gun all day long. There is only a single sling point adjustment, which is on the right of the gun, so it's actually meant for those of you who are lefties, but I'm sure if you had a one-point sling it would still hold there just fine. And there's also a very small Picatinny rail right out front here, which you could put, not a grip, but you could probably fit like a pistol, laser, or flashlight or something like that right there. Let's take it over to the chrono range and see how it performs with an 8.4. Alright, so we're back from the range, and the reason I chronoed it with an 8.4 is because although this stock is very large, the battery is not actually housed in the stock. This is a front wired gun, and it's a little bit tedious to get to. It's one of the negatives that this gun has. You're not going to have very quick and easy battery changes, and it can only house an 8.4. You cannot fit a 9.6 in here. You could probably fit a low profile 7.4 in here. The gun would definitely be able to handle it. That would increase your rate of fire a little bit into that 9.6 range. However, if you want to stick with the nickel metal hydrate batteries, you're going to have to use that 8.4. Let me actually show you how to install the battery here, just because it is a little tedious and it isn't something that most guns have. Alright, so to get the battery out of the gun, you will need a Phillips screwdriver, which I have here. There's a small screw right here on the handguard here. Right there. Just simply put a Phillips head screwdriver in there. And unscrew. Once that's done, the whole handguard and the front assembly will just slide right off like that. There's a small black retention clip here. Just simply slide that out as well and set that aside. And then you can pull your battery out, which I have here. The wires are kind of in the way of themselves here, so you got to get those out of the way. But there we go. Once you get your battery out, you just simply unplug your Tamiya connection. Or if you were installing the battery, it would be vice versa. But then once everything's in place, then you take this little black clip here, get it under the tabs here, these silver tabs, and just slide it straight up so that it sits there flush, and then just simply repeat the process. The larger portion of this goes on the bottom and the front sight goes on top, and we just slide everything into place. Make sure no wires are pinched, and slide it in just like that. And then tighten that Phillips screwdriver back down. And there you go, you're done. Alright, so now that we've got the battery out and everything back together, it's time to just do a real quick overview. Essentially, you just have to keep in mind that this is a stubby M4 at heart. Although the externals look very cool, very unique, and especially if you're a fan of the video game that it was featured in, it's going to kind of hit right there at home with you. But the thing to keep in mind is it is an M4. So you're going to have your standard charging handle here, which will open up the dust cover, exposing your standard M4 three-wheel style hop-up. Your magazine release is right where an M4 would be. It's essentially a stubby M4. So just keep that in mind. It's going to use that standard JG version 2 gearbox, so repairs are going to be a breeze if you're familiar with that. The other thing I just wanted to mention really briefly is the outer barrel here is actually threaded. You don't have to remove the orange tip, because if you look, there's a little gap right there from the outside of the orange tip to the inside of the threaded barrel. And at first I assumed it was a 14mm counterclockwise, which is the standard threading. But it's not. It's actually 12mm counterclockwise. So just something to keep in mind there. We actually don't sell an adapter for that, but if you could find somewhere either on online or in a store around you, then you could actually extend the barrel out, put a longer inner barrel in it, or put a flash hider on it or a suppressor, something to make it look even more cool, even more unique. But I thought I would just mention that these are actually not 14mm counterclockwise threads, just to get that out of the way. Other than that, very comfortable gun. I think that's sort of where I sit with this. It's actually a little bit too weird, a little bit too strange for my liking and for my taste. I probably wouldn't pick one of these up, but again, that's just me being biased. I like my plain old M4, not much, not too much fancy or uniqueness going on there. But other than that, if this is something you're interested in, it's surprisingly comfortable. The pistol grip, as well as the front grip, the stock, even the iron sights, they just line up very nicely. It's a pretty cool gun. 6-position adjustable crane stock. Other than that, yeah, I think that's just about it for this gun. So if you got any other questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get to them as quick as I can. And until the next one, have a good one, guys.